Hi, this is Renee. I'm creating a series of videos for different topics that you may need help in. I am with the website A Passion for Style, and today we're going to start out with an important message. It's not your fault. That is the main thing we need to realize, that if you grew up, for example, in America, in, for example, small town Texas, then you were taught a certain way. Okay? Let's start with Texas is very religious as far as it goes. I'm certainly not saying everyone there is religious, but as a whole, it's in the South. And the South is kind of a Southern Baptist kind of a state as far as society in America goes. And there is a way of thinking that goes with this. It's certainly not right or wrong, but that is what it is. So it's not your fault that you think a certain way. It will be your fault if after this message you don't open your mind up just a little bit to realizing there is more to life than what you had originally considered. Another way that it's not your fault is this society system is created to keep you busy. To keep you busy going to work, making money for your family. To keep you busy going to school to learn things that honestly don't need to be learned, because there's more to life than what they teach you. They keep you busy surviving, struggling, and doing all of these things that are so important, and in the scheme of things are not so important. Okay, now that you've heard all that, and if you're still here, let's move forward. As much as I've always not liked doing this whole us and them thing, unfortunately, there is an us and them. The us is the human being living in this simulator of a world, and the them are the people who are controlling this simulator of a world. Okay. So now you start to wrap your head around that. And if you're still here, then let's just go from there. This world is created. And you might think, well, that's logical. Everything is created. Except it's not that logical. If you've ever seen a game called The Sims, and you might think, well, that's a kid's game. I might not have a technological idea of what that's about. So let me just tell you what The Sims is about. The Sims is a created game where you actually have the opportunity to go in and decide what these beings are going to do, these fake beings. And so you literally, and I've played this game, and I was amazed at everything that you're able to do. So you go in, and in a lot of games, like when we were children, you're thinking like, oh, you dress them up and blah, blah, blah. No, they go deep. I've only played the second version, so I can just imagine by the one they have now, the fourth version, how deep they go with the psychology of it all. In Sims 2, that I have experience with, you're able to go in and, of course, choose how they look, but also their personality based on astrology. So you're immediately choosing their astrological sign, which connects them up to be like whatever the sign is popularly indicated, for instance. So that's part of that. And then, let's see, I think that's actually the last part. And so what happens is once you've done this and it creates the person, and then you take it, the person, and you build it a house, and then you put it in the house. Okay, so once it's in the house, then it begins to react the way it's programmed. Like, for example, if it's a Scorpio, it'll have a Scorpio personality. It'll do whatever a Scorpio does or doesn't do. It'll like the things that Scorpio likes. And keep in mind, this Scorpio will eventually run into other people who are programmed to be Sagittarius and Virgos and Leos and Cancers. So we're getting the interaction based on their programmed personality. Okay, you see where I'm going with this. So within this game, this is what they literally do. You can try to control them based on what you want them to do, but their default will be whatever they're programmed to do. Okay, so for instance, if you have a Scorpio man, and I honestly don't know a lot about Scorpio men, and I honestly don't know why I keep bringing that up, but you might have a Scorpio man who goes out and wants to go on a date, and then he meets someone who is like totally not meshing with him, and he could just totally go off and scream and yell at them. I mean, this is in the game. You know, it's like literally already programmed. So, putting the game aside for a minute, let's come back into our simulator where we were created and we were programmed. And I'm starting to think I might need to stop here because our programming might be a little more intense. I'll be right back.